According to this, you can understand the concept of Sarah when she said that Elohim made a tzchok for me, a laughter. And our sages said that she added on to the luminaries. That at first glance, the connection is between Sarah's laughter and the luminaries, that it says Asa here, it says Asiya here, and it says Vyas it says he made the luminaries, and Elohim made it tzchok for me, with the word made being the connection, the Vyas. So it's not understood because it also says that Elohim made the rakia. So what's the difference between the Ma'oros and the rakia, that you're going to choose the Ma'oros for the connection? But the concept of Elohim made it tzchok for me is explained in Torah or Vayetze, du tzchok v'tainuga elyon shizkala lasi lavo, that's the supernal laughter and pleasure that will be revealed in the time to come. Like it says in Medrash Rabba Achrei, Bepirushis Machavai v'maisav, explaining the verse that Havaya will rejoice in his actions, his maisav. So that's connected to Asa li Elokim, Havaya b'maisav, and Asa li Elokim. Sameach enu omer ela yismach. It doesn't say that he's already happy, but will be happy. Shla'asi lavo davka yihi agiloi hasimcha. That specifically in the time to come will be the revelation of the joy. And that's the concept of Yitzchak, the laughter in the future tense. That in the future we will say to Yitzchak that you are our father. And this pleasure and laughter made for me specifically the name Elohim. That is through lessening the light and hiding and covering. And then when you flip the darkness to light, through bending the other side, through this you have a greatness of the light. So specifically through the darkness of the Elohim, you have the greatness of the light. Ein Sham, look over there also in Torah Or, on the mimer on that I will return in peace to my father's house. And in the mimer, and Avaya will be for me an Elohim. When he places the matzeva and pours oil on it, and so forth. This has a similar concept of Yichud and Elohim, and the Elohim will shine. And the mimer, Habayim Yashrish, with the concept of the actions of the tzaddikim are greater than the works of creation. B'likuti Torah b'dibur hamaskil savas b'nei Yisrael v'amata aleim skor b'ni lachmi. Durush Hasheni, she said, when you live Yason, that is the concept of the Livyasan that you created to play with it. The concept of the pleasure and the laughter comes from the nullifying the existence. Meaning to say, similar to the concept of that you have the darkness and then you flip it and change it. ובפרשה שלח בדיבור המסקלני הווי אלוקיכם דורש השני פרק ב' שזהו צחוק עשה לי שם אלוקים דווקא, that this is the concept of Elokim made this laughter for me specifically through the darkness. וזהו שמעניין צחוק עשה לי אלוקים נמשך שהוסיף על המאורוס, and this is the concept that through the laughter that Elokim made, it adds on to the luminaries. Hainu tosefes or gambe bechinas hamaor hagadol. That is, that it adds light also to the great luminary. Shem havaya shu bechinas chachma, which is Shem havaya, which is the concept of chachma, like we said in the previous paragraph. The Elokim is the concept of malchus, and the havaya is the chachma. Hatzchok va'atainug elyon hu hamshachas. And so this laughter and pleasure, the supernal laughter and pleasure, is drawing down from the essence of the infinite light an extra light into the name Havaya. As is known in the explanation on the verse, go and travel in the light of Hashem. That is from the light that's drawn from Atik into the name Havaya. So let's go and travel into the light, in the light of Havaya, shining a light to Havaya from Atik. That through this extra light, it says that Havaya will be for me the Elokim. Because it's now the lower level of revelation, because the revelation is coming from even higher than the name of Havaya, of Chachma. And therefore laughter is the gematria of 2 times light, or gematria or Ein Sof. Litzchok v'schok in Echad, and schok and schok with a sin or with a tzaddik are one concept. In Echad who and if so, with this concept of you made a laughter for me, or so we're talking about a greatening of the light. So that is a revelation of the infinite truly, the infinite light. That that's the laughter and pleasure. Therefore, our sages said that a person is forbidden from filling their mouth with laughter in this world. Now, this is an extra light in the name of Havaya. And since it was the name Elokim that made this laughter, so you're going to shine this light not just in the name of Havaya, but also in the name of Elokim. That you should have the union and the connection of the concept of Havaya is the Elokim. Because you're adding the light to Havaya, and it happened through Elokim, and it's all one. So this extra light is also shining in the name of Elokim. Yichud v'chibur Havaya hu Elokim v'yu shnei ma'oros hagedolim. That you should have the Havaya is the Elokim, and both of them should be the great luminaries, b'yeser se'es, with an extra strength. And like it says, the light of the moon will be like the light of the sun. Even though on its own, Elokim, which is the concept of the vessels, has a very high source, that they're rooted in the concept of the residue after the tzimtzum. Even though it's only a residue, nonetheless it's still a residue of the general concept of the light of the before the tzimtzum. Michlalasor. V'lo k'mo hakav, sheinu rak kav v'chut levad. And the kav, in comparison to the Rishimo, is only a line and a chord of the light before the Tzimtzum. But the Rishimo is not just a little bit of it. It's a Rishimo from the whole thing. It's the Maila of the Rishimo. K'mavor zeh b'sidur sham suf dibur ha'maskel v'chad an tistalik minayu she'rishimo hi mimilchinas ha'or, that because the Rishimo is from the concept of the light, shene'amar bo kalu es hashamayim es ha'aretz animali, the heavens and the earth I fill. That it fills the whole thing. Shirakshi Yerishimo, but it's only that it's a residue of it. That is the concept of letters. And the kav is the concept of the light that shines into the letters. Therefore, this supernal pleasure and laughter made for me Elokim. Because of the Maila of his Shosh and the Rishimo, that it's from the Shimo of the Klolosover. And from this you can understand the concept of Elokim, that we say, our Elokeinu. That when we draw down through our bending and flipping of the Sitra Achra to add on to the luminaries, like we said, V'nasu Havaya Elokim Shneim Oros HaGadolim, and we make Havaya Elokim the two great luminaries. V'azai Havaya Elokeinu Davka, then Havaya is our Elokeinu. K'mo Godel Havaya Muhulal Ma'od B'ir Elokeinu, and this is like the concept of Havaya is great and very praised in the city of our Elokeinu. So when we say Elokeinu, it's because we've accomplished this, and that we've been mamshich this to us to bring down the Havaya into the Elokim, and it's shining to us, so it's Elokeinu. That it's called Elokeinu because we're the ones who are bringing down this revelation, the God Havaya of Hashem's greatness, and then Hashem Havaya, Hashem Elokim, into the name Elokim, through it being called our Elokeinu. Our Elokim. Now the concept of great in the city of Elokeinu, and the concept of the lessening of the moon. You'll understand with the concept of middle-sized letters, and small letters. That they are in the concept of the angel Matat. Meaning to say that the flow into Olamos is through the concept of the Malachim, and in the smaller way, it can be through the concept of the Matat, the Malach Matat. Which in general corresponds with Olam HaYetzirah, or the Sandal, which is the concept of the levushim for the olamos underneath them, which is, I guess, an expression of malchus, which malchus expresses letters and taught in speech and so forth. And adding on to the luminaries. So what's adding on to the luminaries? That's the concept of the big letters. So the luminaries themselves is the concept of the middle and small letters. Adding on to the luminaries is great letters, big letters. Look what it says about the concept of Elokeinu. Now, the name Kel is from the language of strength. Like it says, the strong people of the land. And it says the kindness of Kel the whole day. So too, the name Elokim is a language of a judge. Like it says, on the verse, and you will be like Elokim, Yudei Tov V'Ra, if you eat from the tree, Pirush Rashi, Yotzrei Olamos, you're going to create worlds. Im Kain Gamkin Koch V'Yecholos, which is also the concept of strength and ability, like Shem Kel and kindness. Manu Omim Havaya Elokeinu, and we say Havaya Elokeinu Hish B'Zebez Inyanim. There's two concepts within this. The first is, there's no other Elokim other than you forever. Which is not the case with the Ovdei Kochavim. They call him the God of gods. Or as we say, Ein Od Elokim Zelascha. The second, the concept in Havaya Elokeinu, is that Havaya himself is Elokeinu. Not just like the concept of the name Elokim on its own, even though it's his name, Tzimtzum, but it's contracted, but Havaya is the Elokeinu. The Elokim on its own is just is his name, but mitzumtzum. But we say no. Havaya is Elokeinu. Dahainu hayichud Havaya belokim. To have the union of both of them, to have them shining together. Like we say that Havaya is great in the city of Elokeinu when Havaya and Elokim are one, and Havaya is shining through the name Elokim, and you realize that it's all one. That's the concept of the two great luminaries. So I'm not sure what he's saying here by bringing Shem Kel. That Shem Kel, on the one hand, is Chesed, on the other hand, it's Koach, and Elokim, on the one hand, is Koach and Yecholos, Yotrei Olamos, and on the other hand is Dayan. Maybe both of them are Koach, and both of them, each one is for its concept. It's a koach of chesed, or the koach of din. But I'm not sure how that ties into Shem Havaya. Why to bring chesed into this at all? Maybe the chesed corresponds with the Shem Havaya in this context. I'm not sure, because we're trying to unite the two. Nonetheless, in Me'orei it explains that Elokeinu it corresponds with Tiferes. So what do you mean to say Elokeinu is Tiferes? So it's brought from Zohar Truma. Kufnan Tesam Beis. V'sham Perish ki Havaya Elokeinu hakol Tiferes. That there it says Havaya Elokeinu it's all Tiferes. Oh, so maybe this is the concept, that Elokeinu is different than just Elokim, because we're talking about Havaya Elokeinu. So it's all the concept. These two names together is Tiferes. It's called Art Elokeinu because it includes both Chesed and Gvura. Through this specifically, through this Hiskalolus, which is the concept of Tiferes, you have the shining the name Havaya as well. V'ayim izeh b'Torah or Parshas Noach b'dibur hamaschil hin ha'adam b'lukut Torah Parshas Tazria b'dibur hamaschil k'miflagi b'mesifta d'rakia b'igeres ha'kodesh min yudbez b'dibur hamaschil v'ayam ma'aseh tzedakah shalom B'Priyat Chaim b'Kavanos Kriyishma Pirush Havaya Elokeinu Chachma Bina. Priyat Chaim Kavanos Kriyishma explains Havaya Elokeinu is Chachma and Bina. I guess all of these are different. These makoros are different ways of understanding this concept of Havaya Elokeinu, or Hiskalolus Chesed Gvura and Tiferes. Drawing from a higher place, something like that.